Hello Aries, and welcome to your May 2020 forecast for Aries Sun, Moon and Rising. Thank you to everybody who subscribes and hits that like button. That is you giving back to the channel and supporting the channel. So thank you very much. And thank you for the lovely comments for those of you who leave comments. They're greatly appreciated and very inspiring to keep doing the work and bringing the information through. But what we're going to do today, Aries, is we're going to have a little focus here on some new aspects, and they are going to be, we're going to look today at your South Node and your North Node for the month of May. Because what is that about, you ask me? Well, our South Node and our North Node is to do with our karma. So, and our 2020, as you know, as we've talked about in other videos, is 2020 is laying a new foundation for your karma, setting new karmic cycles. And we're all going through the 2019-2020 energy where we're reviewing, everything's up, being brought up to us, and we're now got to face our karma, clear our karma, lay a new foundation, to set a new karmic path for ourselves. So I wanted to touch today on the South Node and the North Node for you, because and we're talking about the moon energy here, as in the South and North Node that transits through your chart. And that's to do with your little karmic lessons along the way. And the reason I want to touch on this is because it's been in Capricorn, has been in our South Node, and our North Node has had Cancer. And so that, when it hits 2 degrees, will be moving out of that into Sagittarius and Gemini. And so we need to know the karmic lesson so we can heal it, move it, grow through it, because that's what the South Node's about. The South Node is learning to grow through something, old habits, like wounds, things we need to heal, past lives, old habits. I think I said that. So, you know, it's about where you need to grow and move through that. And the North Node is like, here's the medicine, the balancing point. The South and North Node want to find a balancing point in the issue. And so your North Node, we've got Cancer in that, and it's more loving and nurturing and healing and emotional connection. Okay, sensitive, getting in touch with that. So what's happening here is we need to find a balancing point. And for you, Aries, what's happening there is now Capricorn energy, and we've got the Saturn, Pluto, Capricorn, and this is also about our tests and our lessons. We've got that all year, right through to December. But this is different. This is what's hitting you karmically in your chart, a little test, a little lesson that's coming up. So for you, it's been in the Capricorn aspect in the South Node has been in your career. And it's been there for the last year. And you've been fighting to get ahead. You know, you've been working hard to the point of exhaustion. You know, you've had to look at changes in your career, or changes have happened in your career. You've had to wear several different hats. It's been all work, no play. And the Capricorn aspect in there, the Capricorns, you know, the suck it up energy, the suppress your emotions, like cut yourself from your emotions and soldier on. And you know, Aries, you do that anyway. You know, Mars rules Aries. That's assertiveness and keep going forward and keep moving through. So what you need to do here, Aries, is the North Node. You know, there's the South Node going on there, what we just said, and the North Node's like, okay, we've got to balance this up. And the North Node's got the Cancer energy in it, and it's in your 4th house of home, self-nurturing, you know, mastering the art of home, calming down the career, balancing the career, all work, you know, don't just suck it up. You know, where are you nurturing yourself? Where has it been all work and moving forward and making it happen and all of that? And they want you to come home or whatever your home is, but the home, the family, the connection in that, more than just pushing through on the harder aspects. You know, they want you to connect to who you love, what you love, what that nurturing energy, the deepening of connections for you, Aries. Most signs have got this going on in some aspect. So we've got that hard Capricorn, suck it up, get it on, do the hard work, plan, move, you know, to this Cancer, like, no, we need you to make your connections deeper. We need you to go another level. We need you to heal. We need you to go into your inner psychology and those loved ones and what you love. And, you know, there may be some tears in that for you, Aries. And it's all bubbling up to the surface, probably where you've soldiered on past that or through that. So remember, it's not about jumping from here to here. It's finding the balancing point, the karmic lessons complete. So Aries, where have you been doing too much or not enough, or not connecting on a deep level, on a surface level, and you need to connect deeper, you know, with yourself first and foremost and with others. So where do you need, for some of you, where do you need to shake off some responsibility and, you know, and I don't know, stay home and do some things around the home and some things that, you know, if you need to keep busy, then just do things around the home, but things you love, not things you have to do. That's the theme I'm getting coming through here. Aries, there's been this element of that Capricorn, in your South Node as a karmic lesson, like the have to. The block it, the have to, and move through and soldier on, okay? And now the North Node's like, no, then where's the self-nurturing? Where are you connecting deeper? Where are you doing what you want to? What you feel connected to do? That's the thing here, you know, and there's this little thing I wrote down, and it's, Aries, you don't need to be the badass all the time, you know, and soldier on and be assertive and bring everyone through the hard times and you know, you'll know if you're an Aries who does that. And if you're not an Aries who does that, then you need to do the opposite. It's time to pull people through the hard times. Whichever way it resonates or wherever it's out of balance for you, you will know. Okay, so because why I'm saying this is because we need to complete the karma, and then we've got the whole 2020 karma thing. So this is so important. This is your wound where you need to grow, and the North Node saying, here's the medicine cup. Here's what will balance it out for you. Here's what you need to come in here. And because over the last few years, Aries, a year or two, because of this have to and fighting to get ahead and making everything work and career changes and wearing different hats and all work, no play, it has hardened your character, even if you don't know it has. It's hardened you over the last few years. Okay, well, that happens when it's all work, no play. And we suppress stuff to get through, because there's an aspect here I want to touch on around the full moon. We've got a full moon in Scorpio, Aries, and, you know, Scorpio feels very deeply, very, 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 very deeply and intensely, and it's about emotions, and for you, it's going to hit your shine a light. That full moon shining a light is ending a cycle. Full moon's ending a cycle, but it's hitting your 8th house. So it's shining a light on your 8th house. Now, the 8th house makes us feel uncomfortable. It will make you uncomfortable so that this Scorpio full moon can take you deep into your emotions and on a very deep level where you haven't been doing that. And anything that you've repressed is going to come up around the full moon. So it's really good to have the heads up about that. And the reason all this has to happen is to complete a cycle, complete a karmic cycle. You want it to happen. And this is not, we also need to add on here, we've got Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn in retrograde. And for you, Aries, all month, going backwards. Now, retrograde means not going back to something the same way. It means going back in a new way, with a new perspective, with more information. Okay, see, going back because we see something in a different light now. So, but retrograde's about our relationships and our money and finances. It's love, relationships, and money and finances, and they are going retrograde, and you're being taken much deeper into your emotional center here, and to anything you've repressed, and emotionally, and the nurturing and the deepening the connections with loved ones or things you love, because it's been all work, no play, all soldiering through for the last year or two, couple of years. So you're being brought back down into, and also around the full moon, you'll be looking at your finances and organisations you're connected to, other people, maybe your partner's financial situation. But it is a good time to look at banks, loans, like it is all about money, finances, career, because I think you're being forced to emotionally go deep and connect into, you know, that love and money thing, and, you know, the responsibilities, the hard work, the money. How can I do it better? Because by the Gemini new moon at the end of the month, you know, you'll be looking at your work, your career, like, how can I do it better? How can I turn this around in another direction? So that's why it's all happening with finances around the full moon. But the bigger part of this with the South and North node, for you, the month of May, is that deep, uncomfortable, putting a light on what you've repressed, and, you know, calming down the career, calming down, getting more connected to loved ones or what you love, or deepening this connection of love and home for you, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be a home, but what is your love and home, and connecting into that deeper. Because what's happening here, Venus goes retrograde, and when it does around the 13th and 14th of May, this month, sorry, what's going to happen is it hits your third house. And when it hits your third house, and retrograde can bring things in from the past, ideas in from the past, people in from the past, number one. But what Venus retrograde in the third house around the 13th and 14th will do is, the third house is about your mental activity, the way you think, and where your mental activity pulls you in or pulls you out of you into other things. You know, we're going to look at your mental activity where you can pull into yourself, meaning deepening the connection with yourself, or what you love, or what you value, or what is important to you that you've repressed, by being pulled with your mental activity outwards, out of you. I hope I've explained that well, because on the 22nd we've got a new moon in Gemini, and I kind of like that with you, because it's still going to hit your third house, but you're rethinking, you're re-examining, you're re-evaluating. And when we do that, then we prepare to move forward, because on the 21st, the sun shines a light on your third house, your mental thinking, your mental activity, and I suppose what I'm saying, where that pulls you. And instead of pulling out of you, it should be pulling into you, and nurturing and loving and deeper connection and important, and not the have-dos and the want-to, it's not the have-dos, it's the want-tos, you know. So yeah, one of the big things I'm going to say here, Aries, and I can hear you already freaking out, is, and And we all have it. This has come up in every reading. This just isn't about Aries. You know, where are you afraid of losing control? In what area? I'd look into that too. And if you've repressed that or there's any uncomfortable energy about that. So what I'm kind of saying here is when we work on something, let's say we want to work on something deeply because that Scorpio full moon is going to bring something up very deep. You know, where do you feel the most losing control? Is it money, finances, relationships, love, control of yourself, not having anything to do? You know, some of us have lost jobs and we don't have a job, a career. And, you know, that can be very fearful. That can be feel like I'm losing control of my life or my direction. So whatever it is for you, you know, Aries, once you're at peace with that fear or being afraid of losing control of ... whatever it is, once we heal that, we balance that, we become neutral to that, we don't have to learn it anymore. We don't have to fear it. Look at that. A big ending, Aries, a big completion. This is the end of a karmic cycle that you need to end and complete. So I kind of feel like if I did it the opposite way, it'd be like the universe saying to you, okay, Aries, here's your lesson. No more putting career, fighting hard to get ahead, working hard to get ahead, pushing down to the point of exhaustion, doing the have-tos because you have to and the responsibilities. And no, we're not saying you don't do that. We're just talking about balance. Okay, yeah, and look, here it is, the second card, connecting more deeply. There's a deep healing that's going to come about you and relationships, Aries, and this is connecting or a healing that has to come on a deeper level. And the dog for me represents here security, stability, having faith, you know, afraid of losing control, having faith. The dog's loyalty. The dog is man's best friend. He is there to support and help, not him there doing it all on his own. Burdening all the responsibility. It's the new path. You want a new path, you want a new direction. Aries, you want a new adventure, but you either haven't got it in you or it's not here yet or it's not happening yet because this ending has to happen for you to go on that new journey, that new path. The zero, the fool, is also the ending a karmic cycle. Now, up the right way, he's ready and venture and bring it on. So upside down is showing me maybe, you know, some of you might be stuck in that, oh, I can't, I have to do this. You know, there's a lot for you to process here around the full moon. These cards here where you were, going very deeply, overwhelming, catching her breath, being overwhelmed by emotion, having to process it, stop and process it and catch your breath. Okay, the Four of Swords here, putting down the sword here. Okay, then we've got the Page of Swords and the Six of Wands, getting very focused, very clear in your direction and your passion and what's important. But the Page of Swords here around that full moon, to me, the Page of Swords has many meanings, but for now, the Page of Swords can jump into things before thinking them through. They can go, no, I'll do all that, I'll do that. And then they've like committed to 20 jobs that they know they can't do. Or not that they know they can't do, but they've just got like, didn't think it through, okay? Or took on too much. They're kind of like, it can be little white lies to themselves, like, I bit off more than I can chew. I said, I think I know more than I did, or I said I could do more than I did, and I kind of didn't even stop to think about it. I just took action. You know, they can be quick in taking action mentally. The mental energy, the Swords is about the third house, mental energy, you know, and that's not deep connection at all. That's just off the top of the head, thinking, reacting, I'm in it, I'm doing it, that type of, you know, really fast without thinking it through, without connecting. And what they're calling for you for the end of May is a new you. birth, or pregnancy as a child, birth of a new idea, a new you, a new way of doing it. And the Empress is all about abundance, but she's not running around doing everything. She's sitting back in her abundance because she's created all this abundance. It's an energy. For some of you, this is only for some of you, there's a reviewing of a relationship here. I don't use male, female with the cards, but generally the Empress is a woman, or the energy is very, the Empress ticks all our boxes, male or female. The Empress ticks all of our boxes. She's that I can't see anyone beyond my Empress. She's all-encompassing beauty and energy and light. But here, Aries, you're kind of either holding on too tight to something or someone, or something's not, or you're sitting back rethinking, or being a bit stubborn here, or for some of you, you're pulling back and thinking away from this, which is, I find interesting, because it's creating a lot of, this can be depression, deep thinking, not so happy, where I thought, so if that was a relationship, my Empress is, I'm not so happy, or it's hard work, or they're hard work, or it's harder than I thought, or someone's being stubborn and stuck, or maybe we're butting heads here. There's some energy going there. But for those of you who it's a new idea, career, rebalancing my career and my home life, reconnecting to deeper things I connect to, that I feel love, that nourish me, and not having to do the have to all the time and just reacting on the have to all the time, you're kind of going into a more nurturing energy here for some of you, because you need the rest. This could be you've pushed yourself to exhaustion or depression for some of you, and you just wouldn't stop. You wouldn't stop. You wouldn't change it for career, or, balancing work, career, home life. For others of you, there could be an issue with a female. I'll just say a female, whether it's a relationship like love, or maybe it's a female at work, or I don't know, a boss or family member. You will know. Yeah, look at you. Aries, the theme of the month is you are, an ending has to happen to how you're doing things for your long-term security and stability. And you are really looking into that. You might be going back to the bank loans, whatever, reviewing your career, your money, how do I balance my life, my work-life balance. You absolutely need transformation here, and this is healing to reconnect on a deeper level. And that will bring you the abundance you want, but this is transformation on top of a mountain looking down over a town. This is not little changes. This is, I now see life in a whole new way, or from a whole new perspective. So maybe I thought it was all work, and that was important. And now I'm like, well, I don't know, is that all important? Or vice versa. Or maybe you weren't doing that, and now you think you need to. You'll work it out either way, which way it goes for you. Yeah, see, this is about you connecting. And look at that. That Scorpio full moon is really going to take you on a bit of a journey where you weren't willing to listen or look, or you've repressed something. And the Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, this is all mental energy. This is all up in my head. This is disconnection from my feelings, my ego. This is my ego. This is all mental, knowing everything, acting, taking action, not even thinking through it, thinking you know it all and you don't, or vice versa, whichever way that falls. But see, they want you to go deeper in and disconnect from the mental and think about how you're thinking and go inward. Because you're trying to move forward. There's a little bit of a theme here. Every time you go to move forward, you have to somehow complete this karmic little lesson I brought through for you, Aries, in whichever way you want to do it. because every time you go to move forward to a new beginning, this is a new beginning, the Fool card on a new, new journey, new adventure, new beginning. Where is it? It's, you've got to put in the work to make it happen, or you've got to change something to make this happen. There's something you're not doing here. And it happens here. I'm passionate, I'm focused, I'm direct, I'm moving forward, but I'm not listening, or there's a message or communication from spirit, but upside down. So either you're not listening to your deep inner emotional connection, or to others, or vice versa. Someone's not listening to you, maybe, for some of you, but some of you, if you're waiting on communication to move forward, it's coming. So that could be a job, it could be a contract, it could be I'm waiting for a phone call, I'm waiting for an email, I'm waiting for a text, I'm waiting for something so I can just move forward in that direction. That can all happen, but every time it happens, there's a little block here. So some of you, what I just heard was some of you are trying to move forward in a direction, but they want you to stop, reconnect on a much, much deeper level and go inward. You have repressed some stuff. And the way you're heading forward with all work and hard and fighting to get ahead and working to exhaustion, they're like, I feel your spirit guide, your guides, the universe is trying to block you here. This could be the energy of too up in my head for too long, harden those emotions, and now I need to reconnect, go deep again, go back down in and find out what really is nurturing for me. And then moving forward in that with clear communication in that, even if that was for yourself. For some of you, waiting on a message or a contract or a job or whatever to move forward. For others, that's about the self, communicating to the self, because it's around that full moon, whether you're going to go in there and you've got it's all in your third house and your mental thinking here. See the birth, the rebirth, the Empress energy. Again, standing your ground, putting the past behind you, moving forward. That's up that way. Look at it. There's always a positive with a block here. So two things that I would get for that. Look at that. My passions, my desires, upside down, moving forward, or passion coming in, or connecting my passion. You can't do that when you're burnt out and exhausted. You can't find it even if you want it. So it's time to stop and find it. See, you want to move forward or travel or expand your horizons, but you can't, or you don't want to, or you're being stubborn, or you're stuck, or you're just pulling back. Maybe because you're exhausted. Maybe because you're sick of having to always go forward and have to and move forward. So it's time to stop and go inward here. This person's connected to themselves and assured of themselves and going to defend then what they need now and move forward into a new beginning or energy here. Because there is a new beginning coming, but you have to go through this transformation, and you have to have a new long-term security and stability plan or plan of action, or how you do that. Because there's an imbalance here about how you do or go forward and you've suppressed the nurture, and you may have lost perspective to what really is, or changed your perspective if you give yourself that time to kind of connect to who you are and what you love, and deepening those connections. Sometimes we lose sight of that. Just look, as I said, that connecting to who we truly are, what really truly we deeply love, or that's connecting on all levels. And there's no power play here. Like, they just totally connecting with each other, both giving, both supporting, not one doing more than the other here. And there's this Aries energy, the wands, taking all the action. So where do you take all the action in when it's supposed to be like this. That would be like just that person doing it and that person not, or vice versa. So it's similar to the other fire sign reading, the Sagittarius one, but it was more about Sagittarians really reviewing where they'd been doing all the giving, all the energy, or all the doing, and where that wasn't coming back because our values and foundations change. But you've enabled it. You've allowed yourself. So that's the similar theme. Where have you enabled this? What role did you play? Why did you do the have to? Well, that's okay if it's in a two-way street, but remember that South and North Node are trying to bring a balancing point. Because you're wishing and manifesting here, Aries, again. You know, mental activity. Look at this person, deflated, defeated, doesn't want to listen, doesn't want to hear. A little bit much like the Page of Swords energy. But in that, they're manifesting. This is the Star card about reward. What you put out is what the universe brings back. What you put out is what you attract back. But the mental energy here is not great. And he is sitting under a tree, rethinking everything, going much deeper. And he's the water here about emotion and connection. You know, he's had to sit here not happy and really connect and go in deeper. So before you start doing this, maybe you need to reevaluate this. That's the theme here, Aries. Then take control, then get back in and drive the chariot forward. The Fool card, the new journey, the new beginning. So there is definitely the cards, the running theme is before you move forward any further, before you take action in anything, they, the universe, the karmic lesson, the guides, the spirit guides, your spirit guides, they want you to go deeper and reconnect and reevaluate. There's something you don't want to look at or you've been refusing to look at, and that could be even going deeper into yourself. And that's the change you need to do. There's the Wheel of Fortune. There's the change right there. Oh, now we're up the right way, moving forward with confidence, passion, and I can make decisions and move forward. So Aries, some of you are definitely trying to move forward and you are being blocked for a reason. Because they want you to stop and go deeper and deeper inward and reevaluate. Connect deeper to who you love, what you love, and deepening your connections with yourself and all of that first, then the outer world. Then they will allow you to move forward, or the blocks will unblock, or the communications will come through. For you to move forward. But I think because we've had to harden, well, the Aries energy, not we, the Aries energy, I was talking to Aries as a collective, because your characters had to harden over the last few years and soldier on and soldier through and work hard and make changes in your career and wear different hats. The have to, I call it. It's got you to a point of exhaustion. The Capricorn in your South Node is pushing the pain and the pain barriers aside, or had been pushing them aside, and now the North Node in Cancer is like, no, we're not pushing those aside anymore. You need to stop and go into that uncomfortable 8th house full moon, Scorpio full moon, and we are going to shine a light on what you've repressed before we allow you to move forward. So, my dear Aries, Anywhere and everywhere you don't want to do that or hear that, I'm going to say it. Tough luck. You are, because it's creating the imbalance or the indecision or the not being able to move forward. That's exactly what it is, because you're burnt out and you're exhausted, and they're trying to bring you out of this. They're trying to say, we know the way out. This is your test. This is your change. This is what we need you to balance. This is what we need you to go back in, so we can take you out of this mental, emotional, physical, spiritual exhaustion where you're defending and fighting and struggling, and stepping back into your power, back into your flow, back into your energy. Now we're connecting. Now who's connecting on a deeper level with love and romance and connection, even if it's with yourself or with your family or your people, places, situations, or your career? Look who's connecting, and there's the Success card. And this has been a bit of a running theme for you, Aries, and I'm going to put it out there again. The success you need with yourself, with people, with relationships, Venus, money, abundance, relationships, love, money, and finances, is learning, go back in, reconnect to deeper, to what your values are. They may have changed. Stop pushing through and blocking it. Go back down, deep down, and learn how to reconnect in a different way, or at a deeper level with yourself first and foremost, then with others. Then you can do it with others. When you can do it with yourself, then you can do it with others. And that brings the success, that brings the abundance, that brings the love, that brings the ease. It brings in the options into reality. All those options, not up here floating around in the mental. And you will go very inward. Review. Then communication fast. Look, money, abundance, whether it's finance, career, new job, or relationship. Look at it coming in. We've turned things around. So that is definitely what I just told you. Now you're reviewing. No more. You've reviewed it, see, by the end of the month, moving into June, and we've got eclipse season. No more putting you out in the cold or disconnecting from your emotional self to soldier on, to soldier through wherever that lies for you. You're going back to the drawing board. You're going to dig deep, find the information, reflect, go inward to your heart, to your energy, to your emotions. And it brings the Ten of Cups, happiness, contentment, a new foundation, security, stability, the foundation, a new foundation that you're happy in. So you're looking for this. You're looking to how to get here, or how to feel this, or how do I achieve this? But it hasn't been through disconnecting, pushing through, hard work, a point of exhaustion, wearing 50 different hats has not brought you this. And I would say that if you want this and you want to move forward and bring in the change and the passion back, you need to go deeper, much deeper in this month, and then you'll get wish fulfillment. So there it is, Aries, but your wish fulfillment, your security, stability, your foundation, or how you've been doing it, or how you thought you needed to do it, there's a tower moment. It's coming crumbling down, but it gives you a new foundation, a new tower, because they're trying to give you this wish fulfillment. But sometimes we're so up in our head and so set in our ways and so disconnected and soldiering on that we are so disconnected. And then we're wondering why things aren't moving and changing and moving forward, and that's not coming through, or that's not coming through. So there it is, Aries. That's big. Every single reading has been so big this month. So I hope that helps you a little bit, but I keep hearing reevaluation. And some of you may be coming back to an old idea, because that's very, Mercury, Venus retrograde in your third houses rethinking relationships. Someone from the past comes in, old connections from the past, things like that. Oh, Aries, no buying big this month, because your mind, with this mental energy that you're going through, this transition, you might buy something and want it and then retrograde and then not, because this mental thinking, this third house, there's